Hello, this is your lonely old lady again, and I am speaking to you from home as usual because that's where I usually am most of my day doing something around home. So I haven't posted anything probably in the last couple of days, so I thought I would let you know what I've been up to for the last few days. And as you can see, one of the things is I got my hair cut, so it isn't so shaggy anymore. So that was one of the things that I did for myself. And but I found myself, because of the 4th of July coming up, I find myself breaking my cardinal rule, and that's allowing myself to get a little depressed. Actually, I got a lot depressed for a while. But I also kept busy for a while. And then, of course, when I am no longer busy, that's when I'm more likely to fall into these depressions. And one of the things that puts me into these depressions is people asking me constantly, "What are you doing for the 4th of July?" I live alone. I have nobody to do things with. Nobody seems to want to do things with me. They all have families, and it's a family day, and they want to do things with their families. And unfortunately, my whole family is on the other side. I lost my mother and my father quite early on. My mom was only 54 years old when she died from brain cancer. My father was 61 when he died, and he had a ruptured aortic aneurysm. So he died like instantly. My brother died in 1996, and he was diabetic who did not take very good care of himself. I take better care of myself than he did, and I'm not really good at it, but we found out with the food in his refrigerator that he didn't take very good care of himself. And he wound up having a heart attack in his sleep. And then my sister, again, didn't take very good care of herself. She was a smoker for most of her life. And this affected her organs, of course, and she had a heart attack, and she lived through that. And she came and lived with me for a while. And when she decided she wanted to go back to her apartment, and against my better judgment, I did not want her to do that. I wanted her to stay with me. But I wouldn't allow her to do things like stay up really late at night or things like that because I didn't want anything to happen to her. So she went back to her apartment, and then one day I got police officers at my door in the middle of the night, and they informed me that the hospital wanted to see me right away, that my sister had passed away. And this devastated me, and I didn't want to go alone, so I woke up my son at like 2 in the morning, and we went down to the hospital, and we had to make some preliminary arrangements for her body, and we were able to visit with her for a little bit on our own. And this was really sad and devastating for me, since my sister and I had become very close at that point. But that's where my entire family is. And of course, I've been divorced twice, and so I guess I'm someone who can't be loved or whatever, or not for any length of time anyway, but I can accept that. And I just don't want to get married again. I haven't found anybody that's worth the effort in the first place. I've tried dating, and it turned out they weren't worth the effort. So I just kind of have given up on that, and I choose to live alone, and so I shouldn't allow myself to get depressed. But I did get a little bit depressed, but I was working outside, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what I have been doing and what I've accomplished over the last couple of days. And as you can see, I'm outside, and this is the last garden that I had to do. This is the garden that's directly in front of my house, and this is the one that's along the sidewalk. And I have my little memorial to my dogs who have passed away. I've had several who have passed away over the years, and I put a memorial and on the bottom of the memorial are the names that I can remember. And last night I planted these petunias here for some little bit of color in the garden. The annuals are nice, but they don't usually have a whole lot of color. And so I'm going to come back over here, and that's the beginnings of the daylilies. And I'm going to cross over this piece of the garden and come around and show you my daylilies are are in bloom, and they're very pretty. It's a very pretty color. And I have a lot of the greenery. I have some water plants, and oh, I've got my own shadow in the way here. So we have some more daylilies over here, and as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of. I'm sorry about the shadow in there, but the sun's behind me. And the daylilies are very pretty and have come out really well. And there's my hosta, one of my hosta plants. It has gotten very big. It was just a little bitty plant when I first planted it, and now they've gotten quite big. And there's my bush again. It got quite big over the periods. And then this over here, my neighbor actually planted before they moved, and they turn out to be very pretty as well. So I weeded this whole garden along this driveway here. And these daylilies are also blooming. So my yard is kind of bringing up with a little bit of color, which I really love. I worked today, and my grass doesn't need to be mowed again for a little bit. And I think I missed my other one with the thing because I switched it, and I didn't. More daylilies that I also have planted in. Most of these have been in here for a while. And then this is the front gardens, and got all the weeds done, and so they're looking pretty good. Some of the plants need to be replaced. I think I hit this one with some weed killer, and apparently the flowers have weed DNA in them, and that's what the weed killer zeroes in on, so you know what to do. So apparently I'm going to have to replant those. And so this is kind of my report today on what I've been up to for the last few days. So anyway, this is kind of where I've been at and what I've been up to for the last couple of days. And but the problem is that the 4th of July has got me kind of rattled. I've been crying and kind of feeling sorry for myself a little bit, which I promised I would not allow to do. But unfortunately, at times, even a lonely old lady who tries to stay busy enough to not allow herself to be depressed, sometimes it just kind of gets to you. You want to do some things that are fun, but it's not so much fun to do these things by yourself. And I'm definitely not going to go down to a fireworks thing and go through all of that traffic and everything to sit by myself and watch the fireworks, although they would be beautiful and everything, but everybody else's family's around me. So I'll probably watch fireworks on TV or something like that on the 4th. So for now, I've got to get ready to go to work and spend my 5 hours today earning some money so that I can get some other things done. And the places I'm going to start again is I'm going to start at the beginning. My garden in the back needs to be weeded also, so I'm going to be starting on that. So I'll report to you on that, a little bit more about how I got through this depression on this holiday. And I will get through this, and I will live. This too shall pass, like all things. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. And this is a day in the life of a lonely old lady. And I hope you enjoy the videos, and I hope you enjoy talking to me or seeing me or whatever. And we'll report later on more in the life of a day in the life of a lonely old lady as we go along and we find more things to do. And I got plenty to do, believe me, and I just have to start doing it. So for now, goodbye, and we'll talk to you later.